So every now and then we get DMs or calls or general inquiries about whether we have a 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom already existing that's available for sale. Now, generally, these kind of inquiries fall within two categories. The first is with the expectation that a 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom will be available for 5 or 10 million. The second is a genuine interest in finding affordable homeownership solutions that fit the person's budget. Now, on the latter, we engage and help them understand how our approach to affordable homeownership is different. But whenever we encounter the first category, we help them understand how when build and sell enters the conversations, it changes the conversation. And the reason is this: build and sell is for profit. And so, what are the odds that the land will be sourced at your comfortable entry point? What are the odds that the building was done at your comfortable entry point? That's even excluding profits. Third, what are the odds that financing was done at your comfortable entry point? When we consider all of these dynamics, we see how it has become almost impossible for any company or organization to by themselves do subsidized or low-cost housing, especially in places like Lagos. Because typically Lagos doesn't fit the kind of place that you expect an affordable home ownership intervention. So while we all know what makes Lagos unique, our focus is how to make home ownership work for middle income earners in Lagos without sacrificing their quality of life. Now there are two sides to that. The first is land ownership, because land ownership remains the bedrock for affordable home ownership. It's easy, it's more convenient, it's more affordable to have a home when you already have a land. So how do we make land ownership affordable for the middle class? And the second part of that is quality of life, which is directly tied to the location of the land. Because at what point is a cheap land that costs you more in transportation, that costs you more in mental health, that costs you more in wasted time in traffic? So when we put it together, it becomes, let's get land affordably in a location that is close to existing amenities, that is comfortable enough for the homeowner to thrive. So these are the moving parts that come into how we approach affordable homeownership in Lagos. Because the fact is, a typical Lagos land that fits this description is oftentimes more expensive than the house or the building itself. And this is why we advocate for co-ownership, where 4, 5, or 6 people come together to own the land together. This is a form of fractional land ownership that allows individual person to own the exact portion on which their home sits, where they share the rest of the common spaces with other residents on the same property. While this may sound strange, this is something that we're already familiar with. For everyone that knows a terrace building or what a terrace building looks like, imagine that instead of waiting for the developer to build a terrace and you buy a unit within that terrace, you strip off the building and buy it while it is just at land. So you own that portion where that terrace would have sat, and then you share the compound with every other person. So what this helps you achieve is have access to prime land in a fairly prime location that does not commit you to too much of traffic. It's close to existing amenities that improves your lifestyle. So instead of waiting till the building is done and looking for 250 million, whether in cash or in mortgage, you start from when it is just land. And not just that, you split that cost 4 ways, 5 ways, or 6 ways. And what that helps you to achieve is, say, for a land that costs 200 million divided by 5, you pay 40 million to acquire same land, same value that 50 million would have granted you on completion. And this is so relative and subjective that it helps you to enter the market at your comfortable price point. So if your comfort zone is Aja, seek land options within Aja that falls within that budget and divide it and split it either 4 ways, 5 ways, or 6 ways. If your comfortable price point is Ekpe, do this. It also still works same way. So while we will not build and hope that it fits a certain class of people's budget, we would rather make it such that different people with different types of budget, with different income class, can access land at their different comfortable entry points. And despite the subjectivity of affordability, we've made it equal for everybody. Now, term co-ownership is not new. It's already existed. But oftentimes, it exists for fractional investment, where multiple people pool money together to own a property in equity and then make profit and share that profit as dividend. But in this case, you are owning the property physically, even though it's a 1/4 or a 1/5 of that property. It exists. The physical hard copy ownership documents exist in your name. You get approval on your name. And once that is done, We've achieved the purpose of also granting you the flexibility to build at your own pace and at your own time, such that if what you have today is 100,000, you can take it to sight. And I chose that word because a lot of us can relate to the significance of that. That instead of keeping your money in the bank till you have enough to buy materials, you can then start buying materials in bits. These and many other values are what is packed into this home ownership structure. You too can see how this helps different people at different income levels with different budget classes plug into the housing market at their comfortable price points. I hope this helps.